I'm so excited to share with you my new watercolor brush pack called Living Watercolor, the complete watercolor studio, and it's created exclusively for Procreate. This is a pack for beginners and advanced artists alike. It's a complete toolkit that has everything you need to start your digital watercolor painting journey or add an even more authentic look to your already amazing skills. You have your brushes, paint, canvases, sketches, and a tutorial all at your fingertips. There are 40 carefully curated watercolor brushes made from actual watercolor paint and textures, including brush stamps and splatters for an extra touch. And my 12 color palettes are in here as well to help you get set up and on your way super fast. Included are 4 incredible canvases that will help transform your digital painting into a more real watercolor look. And I won't leave you on your own, so I've included the step-by-step video tutorial that will help guide you through the process and hopefully inspire you with some new ideas. I've also added 6 sketches that you can use to practice with and improve your painting skills, and we'll be using one of those today. I've made a link for you in the description below where you can go and find more information on these brushes. In this video, I'll show you an example of how to use this brush pack. I will be drawing our maple leaves using the brushes, a canvas, a palette, and a guide, and I'll show you from start to finish how to get the max out of this watercolor studio. I've shared the color palette for you for this tutorial, so you can just hit the link in the description below to download and install into Procreate. And now we're all ready to go. So I'm just going to start by importing my canvas. So I'm already in Procreate, so I'm just going to hit the import button, and I'm in my downloads folder. That's where I've downloaded the zip file to and unzipped it. And then I'm going to go to the canvases, and I'm going to select the third one, and it will import. And there we go. And then I'm going to go into my wrench and grab one of those drawing guides. So today, like I said, we're going to be doing a maple leaf. So let's just go find that. I'm going to go to Add, Insert File, navigate here to the drawing guides, and find that maple leaf. Great, so we're already ahead of the game. We have everything drawn and ready to go, so I can already start painting. So I'm just going to create a new layer, and you'll see already we can go in and look at our canvas here. I have it locked, but you're welcome to unlock it and change any of the values here depending on how you'd like your final piece to look. So you can have a look in there. This has already popped us into our draw here guide, so I'm just going to hit the plus sign and bring this below. And I'm just going to turn this to multiply so then we can see through it. All right, so actually I'm just going to I'm going to just knock this back a little bit, just the opacity to about, let's make sure you can still see it here on the camera, maybe about 20%. And I'm just going to lock that for now so I don't accidentally draw on it. Next, I'm going to make sure I have my color palette. I have my maple leaf color palette. If you want to import that, you can just push the plus button and go say new from file, navigate to the swatches and select the swatches there. And I'm just going to set this to, it's set to default, so that's fine. I like to use the classic mode and it'll show up in the bottom there, so that's great. And then we're going to make sure that we have our brushes. I'm already in living color, but again, if you'd like to import them, you can just hit that plus sign, hit import, and then navigate to the brushes and tap on that, and it will import your brushes for you. All right, so now that we're done that, I'm going to grab the build and blend rough edge here, and I'm going to pick that nice light yellow color. This is a really great brush because it's super blendable and easy to use, and it gives you a really authentic watercolor look. So I'm just going to go around and fill everything in. I'm holding down my brush as I do this. I'm going to have to pick it up obviously at some point, but I'll show you how to blend that out in a sec. So let's just fill this all in. So you can see you can really build that up and blend it out at the same time, which is really nice as well. So let's just keep filling in. You can go over it and actually smooth out a lot of stuff here too, so that works nicely. Okay, so we have it colored in. I'm going to go and actually use my brush blender. I'm not going to use it as the blender tool, but just grab that one that says blender in your brushes, and it won't actually add any paint to it, but it really gives a really nice blend. So I can just soften some of these if there's any edges or anything like that. Of course, I really like all the little modelly bits that make it look like watercolor. So you can see without that, it looks just like it. So let's keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and add a clipping mask just by hitting that plus button, tapping on the layer and say clipping mask. And then I'm going to go and let's just do something a little bit warmer, like this nice warm orange, going back into our brushes and finding the soft bloom. And let's just turn this off for a second, and I'm going to go in and just dust the edges, and you can see it gives it that nice dried look. So I'm going to just go around, and this is pressure sensitive, so I can, you know, make it a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter as I go, just kind of getting all that lovely inconsistent sort of look to it. I love it. All right. Sorry, I have to apologize for my voice today. I'm a little under the weather, but I feel fine. I sound worse than I am, I think. All right, yeah, getting some nice things. And you can, of course, go in and color it as well, not just the edges. But I like to have that dried edge look. Gives us some nice stuff happening here. And it also creates a less flat look, a more three-dimensional look, which of course we want that as well. Okay, next let's go and add some a new clipping mask, and I'm already going to jump in with some of my paint stamps and whatnot. So let's just grab a new color, maybe this one here. Let's go find some brush stamps. I'm going to start with this one, number 8, and I'm going to make sure again that I'm on a new layer, it's clipping mask layer, because I want to stay within that. So let's just find a nice place for this. I can resize it and change it around however I want. Let's see what sort of gives it something interesting here. That's probably good. Let's see what happens when we turn it to multiply by tapping that in, and that's nice. Great. All right, I'm going to add a new one. Clipping mask. Let's just change the colors a little bit, maybe a little bit more vibrant red. Let's grab, let's see, this guy, number 10. Tap on that. We can't quite see him there. There he is. Pop him in there. Let's see. Oops. Maybe right about there. Change that to multiply. Great. Okay, let's get another one. Clipping mask. Let me try this nice green here. Let's grab that one, number 5. This one's going to be too light. I'm going to change the color on this, I think. Even with the multiply, I don't think that's going to be vibrant enough. Let's see. Actually, that does work. All right, we'll keep it. Okay. Let's see, I'm just going to go back down to the beginning again and have this as a layer underneath. Oops. And just let's go and find some, let's use the fluffy brush, maybe just bring in some more, and maybe let's get, again, sticking with this orange color, I'm just gonna add a few more bursts here. That's kind of nice. Just some more depth. Again, just keeping it really random. Maybe bring in this brown color. Let's go back to our soft bloom. Maybe bring up the size a little bit, to maybe about 50, 45, somewhere in there. Maybe this warmer brown. Just building colors, layers, just keeping it going here. All right, I actually think I'm going to give this a try and duplicate this layer and see what that gives us. I think that might be good. Let's just pinch that together. That's just gonna make everything even more vibrant. So that's kind of what I want today. All right. Let's do the veining work and get some more detail going in here. So I'm going to turn back on my layer, my draw layer here, and hit the plus sign. And then I'm going to go and get my fine detail brush and find a really nice light color. Let's see if that's going to be light enough. That should do it, I think. Yep. So I'm just going to trace over. Okay, let's turn this off again. So now we can see all our veining. And of course it's not quite bold enough, so I'm gonna go and do a few more details on that. Just gonna grab maybe this brown color here, and on one side I'm just gonna basically make like a shadow. So just lining that out, making it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Again, I can use my pressure just to add that little bit more depth in different places. Keeping it really fine. It's gonna get darker down here in a little bit, but we'll go and do that in a minute. Okay, that looks a bit better, a little more three-dimensional. Still, I would even go in with a lighter color and carry on and making some, you know, extra little touches here and there. Maybe blend a little bit, some areas as well. But try not to make this a 5-hour-long tutorial for you. Drawings always do take a little bit longer than the videos show, but fast forwarding is always a good thing too. All right, so I'm gonna go turn it back on my drawing layer here, and I'm gonna do the little drops, or start those anyway. So we'll just add the plus sign. I'm gonna grab this light color here, and I'm gonna grab my fill brush right there. So let's just zoom in here. And I'm going to just start to fill those in, and I'm going to say my brush is going to be at about 10 maybe. Let's see. I'll just get these circles in. Okay, so let's turn off that. So now we have a little bit of spots. So now we can go and make them a little bit more defined. So I'm going to use a little bit of a darker brown. Maybe let's try this one first. And let's see, what brush should we use? Let's see, let's see if my round brush will be good for this. Yeah, I think so. So let's just give it around like size 5 or so. And I'm just gonna bring in a shadow along the edge here. So I'm just creating these little shadows here. And what's great about this brush is that where you can actually see through the paint, which is great. We want that, of course, for these raindrops. So let's just do that. And you're gonna maybe just make sure that's nice and kind of crisper, closer to the actual drop. So while we're again, maybe you might want to just make sure that you see those lines underneath. You can just draw them in a little bit more here too. Just to be sure. Okay. There we go. I'm going to change to my Build and Blend Smooth Edge. Still the same color. I'm going to go just put an opposite sort of side here. Just sort of blend that out. When I use lighter pressure, I can actually just kind of use it as a blender if I haven't picked up my brush, which is pretty cool. It kind of creates that. Actually, I am going to bring down my opacity just a touch to about 50 just to be really light, or I could use a lighter color too. Could have done that, but I'm just going to do that a little bit here. Just getting really lightly this other reflective edge. So you have one hard on the bottom and sort of another one on the inside, on the reverse side. Maybe it's about 30. Let's try to create that illusion. Okay, so then we'll go and do a highlight. I think I'm going to change back to, let's see, maybe the round brush again. And let's just give everything a little bit of a highlight. Hopefully you can see that. I think so. And you can just pick up your brush to really build it up. Let me paint that in there. I think I missed one here. I think I missed one this whole time, sitting right here. All right, let's just go back and fix that. Yeah, I have it right here. It's just so light right there that we can't see it. Okay, then I'm going to actually grab my sketching pencil with this dark brown here and just really give a little, just the hint, or just a crisper little touch here and there, just on the edges. Just really delicately, not too heavy-handed here. Just give that little extra pop. Okay, so that should look kind of like water droplets. All right, so let's keep going. Let's get some splatter on here. So I'm gonna just I'm just gonna go down to my bottom layer, hit the plus sign automatically. It will create a clipping mask for us, which is really nice. Let's just stick with this brown for a sec. I'm going to do a few splatters on that. Let's see. Let's just do paint splatter 1 to start. And just tap, simple as that. We'll get some speckles. I'm going to create a new layer and make it sort of this red color. Maybe we'll go to splatter paint 4, see what that gives us. Nice. Maybe change that to multiply. We can change this one as well. Oh, well, that's interesting too, color burn, but we'll leave it at that. Maybe we'll go and hit the plus sign and find some more stuff, some more goodies. Let's do splatter 5. Maybe let's change this to orange this time. Yeah, get that in there. Maybe make it a bit bigger. I actually want some more of these dark ones, so let's go back to that layer there. Maybe this darker brown here. Let's do 5 again. And maybe just get some, oops, that's too big. Oops, too small. Just making sure I'm on that right layer. There we go. Nice. And actually, let's just see what happens when I put that up there. Maybe that's better. And let's change the opacity a little bit, maybe to about 75. Great. I'm going to go and create a new layer again on top of, or just below all my stamp brushes. I'm going to grab this warm orangey brown color, go back and grab my soft bloom, and I'm just going to really just go over these edges, just do those again. Kind of wanted a little bit more in there. Let's change this to multiply as well. I think we're going to need to do some stuff on the stem here. It looks a little neglected. All right, just while I have this, I'm just gonna color this in a little bit. This little chunk here does look a little bit odd, so actually, you know what I can do? I can go to my fill layer, hit my magic wand, go to liquify, and be on push. I'm just gonna, just because it's such a small little detail, just gonna push that out just a touch. There, good. fix that weird little notch that we didn't really need. Okay. I'm gonna grab this brown here, still be on my soft bloom. Let's just make this look a little rounded up. I'm gonna bring my brush a little bit smaller and make sure that I'm on the right layer. Let's just, yeah, go back to that one. Let's really get that edge in there. Maybe I'll change the color. Wonderful. Okay, so let's just go back into our layers. I'm going to create a new layer. It's just all about lots of layering. I'm going to grab this red color back to my fluffy brush, yes. And I'm just going to fill this in a little bit. I want it a little bit more red. And I'm going to take this green color, maybe just make this a little bit more green. It's kind of gives it a good look. Let's just see if we change our layer mode to multiply. Let's see. You know, I think I'm going to stick with normal for this one. Good. I kind of like that contrast of the red and the green on either side. Kind of looks neat. Okay, so lastly, I think we can go and do a little shadow maybe. So I'm going to go to my last layer and just bring this one, I want it below here. Okay, just going to get this brown color and I'm going to find my blend and smooth edge, and I'm gonna stick with that opacity down there. Well, that's fine, we're just gonna knock back the opacity of this anyways. So I'm just gonna make a little shadow just along here, and then just sort of loosely trace just the one side of this leaf. Kind of like that. And then if I offset this tip here like that, then it'll make it look like that, sort of popping up a little bit more. Oops, I shouldn't hold down my brush. And that's good. Maybe just a little bit along here. Okay. And we can play with the opacity a little bit if we need to. I'm going to actually bring that back a little bit to maybe maybe about 60%. And then just put a few more dark touches really close too. That kind of makes it pop a little bit. Just here and there. Okay, I think that's good for today. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you are interested in these wonderful watercolor brushes, they are in the link in the description below. So go and check those out. They're amazing. I love them and I hope you do too. And if you did like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you can be notified of new tutorials just like this in the future. And thank you for putting up with my voice today. Hopefully I'll be back at it next week. So thank you so much for watching. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.